All right, everybody, welcome to the 12th episode of the Final Circle podcast. We've been definitely growing episode to episode, so I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening. And for anybody that's new to the podcast, I'm Blitz5, and this is my buddy Cypher5, Andrew, on the other line here. And we do this podcast through Discord as of right now, but eventually, maybe one day, we'll be doing this in person. And again, for anybody that's new, we mostly talk about video game stuff here, a lot of Battle Royale stuff that's been going on in the news, mostly PUBG related stuff. And today we're going to start off the podcast talking about Apex Legends, which is the newest Battle Royale to enter the scene. That was created by Respawn Games, and it kind of came out of nowhere. They announced that they were making a announcement, or whatever they want to call it, like a press release on Monday, and then they simultaneously announced the game and released it to the public free to play across all different platforms. So Andrew and I were able to play that. We wanted to play it before this podcast so we could talk about it, and I wanted to start off and see what you thought about it and your first experience playing it the other day.
Yeah, so it's a hard to explain game. There's definitely a steep learning curve, and but overall, like if I had to sum it up, I think it's a fun game. I think that it has a ton of potential. I feel like I get comfortable with the controls and all the nuances of the game, I think that it will be an adversary. You know what I mean? I think that it has like a lot of really strong qualities that make it competitive, more so than the other games or battle royales that we've seen so far. And that's just my opinion, but I think that they've done a really good job. Like Respawn really came out of the blue with this, and I think that they kind of hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the controls very well, and I'm still getting used to it in the Legends, but I think that they put together something that's very cohesive and takes a lot of qualities, good qualities from all the other battle royales, and they just were like, yeah, we're gonna take all your ideas and just make it into our own thing.
Yeah.
So like that's just a short thing, just so people are like, all right, well, he said exactly how he feels. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. I made a first impressions video, like an initial review to my first couple of hours of playing the game. That's on my YouTube page at youtube.com/blitz5. And I basically said in one sentence that to me, it reminded me of like Borderlands meets Blackout, and it has that Titanfall vibe. The more you say it, at first I didn't really see it, but the more you look around, it definitely does have that like Titanfall vibe to it.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. I don't know if it's really going to catch on. I saw a statistic that they had 1 million unique users on Monday when the game launched, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not counting Tuesday, what we played on Tuesday, and then today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
As we record the podcast, yeah, today is Wednesday, February 6th, just to date it.
Yeah.
So I played it, and then me and you played it on Monday, and then me and you played it together on Tuesday. And once you said it about, you're like, man, this game really seems like it's built to be competitive. I started looking at it, I'm like, it totally is like made to be competitive. Like the whole map is like an arena. There's like the announcement, like when you're landing, and then we won a game, and they like the way they announce it, they make everything look like you're actually in a real arena, when like Fortnite and PUBG makes it seem like you're landing on like an island somewhere, you know? So it already makes it, with the other champions, like you said, the Legends, all that stuff combined really makes it feel like you're playing in this like online tournament. And even when you look at the map, some of the things like I noticed when I was playing with you for the first time, that they said like if you go to this area, there's going to be better loot. Remember that section? And there was like pre-planned events that you could see that were going to happen on the map, and like you could strategically land in certain areas if you wanted to like go for a heavier risk or like kind of not hot drop. And there's so many interesting things that are in the game. I mean, we could talk about it for like hours, but there's so many little things in the game that are different.
I agree. And I think when the buy-in is a little bit steeper, I think. Maybe it's not that steep. I mean, I'm so used to PUBG, but PUBG was really hard to learn at first. So,
yeah.
And I think that's a big selling point. And I'm going to do what you usually do, because I went right to Twitch when you started talking. And right now, Apex Legends has 237,000 viewers.
Oh, no way.
That's
this is like
double the amount of Fortnite. It's almost double the amount of Fortnite.
Wow. Yeah. Every week we check the kind of the top games on Twitch, and not in, YouTube gaming is definitely coming in big now, but that's shocking.
Yeah.
So if you can let everybody know, normally PUBG is in the top 10. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's not. So where's PUBG and Fortnite and Blackout, all the other games right now?
So right now it's Apex Legends in first with 240,000 viewers. Fortnite is 135,000 viewers in second. And then Blackout is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th is Blackout.
Wow.
And then PUBG is way down.
Oh no.
It's all the way down. I think everyone is watching. PUBG is like maybe 20th.
Okay.
It only has 3,300 viewers.
But again, when you guys listen to this, and Andrew knows, and most people do, you have to take into consideration who's streaming. So
yeah, it's very subjective. I mean,
yeah,
100%. I just think that now it's also very new too, so we'll definitely see that number dwindle. But
yeah, normally the newest game is in front, but that's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
Where's League of Legends? Are they second or third?
Third, with 117,000 viewers.
Behind Fortnite?
Yeah.
Because sometimes Dota will sneak in if they're doing like a tournament. League of Legends is usually first or second, and then Fortnite is usually first and second. Those two games compete for like viewers.
Yeah. I mean, Dota is like half the amount of viewers as League of Legends. It really depends on the time of the day too, you know?
Yeah.
I just think that when we were playing, like the Apex Legends, one part I think that makes it competitive is that they kind of have the legends or champions have the unique ability to kind of do different things. So it does like make a support system. So they have like an Overwatch vibe, and then they have the Battle Royale feel. So here's Fortnite and PUBG. Then you have the choke points, right? Like the respawn areas to respawn teammates. You have those areas where there's like the more loot, the drop ship. So it really kind of gives like more focal points of fighting too than I think other battle royales. You know,
that's a good point. A lot of the fighting is like, unfortunately, there's only 60 players right now in a game, and it's locked to 3-man squads. So when you land, if you're not near anybody, it gets really, it's kind of quiet unless you hot drop. But you're right. Every time we fought with people, it's like you were almost funneled into a battle because of the way the map is set up. That's so true. That's kind of interesting the way it is the map is very different than the other games. I would say there's just really high walls everywhere, like the mountains kind of like make you funnel and go certain ways. And you have to pick like, do we want to go left or right in the fork in the road? And then there's some areas where you can get shot from up above, but normally when you're in these like areas, there's not going to be someone on top of the mountain because it's not somewhere you can go really. So,
yeah. And I kind of wonder if they do that to make them more like pinch points. You know what I mean? Like the map is big, but then like it's funneling people in certain ways. So there's more like skirmishes.
Yeah, because again, like in PUBG, you're just an open field. So like you could run anywhere really in PUBG.
And that's the same with Fortnite too. You know,
you're
for
the most part.
Areas.
Yeah, you're just a giant open field like running towards the circle. And yes, you can kind of go behind big rocks or small hills, but it's not like, I mean, there's big mountains in Fortnite and PUBG, but it's definitely different in Apex Legends. If you guys play that, you'll notice it's way different.
Yeah, 100%. And I think also like my mindset was as soon as I heard that it come out, I watched a video on it, and the creators, straight up said like, we've already created seasons, we're prepared for microtransactions, but the seasons kind of stuck out to me. I'm like, oh, they're trying to make this competitive. They want this to be, they're like prepared to, come out with like a scheme.
Yeah, they came in hot too. I mean, this isn't like a PUBG like game preview. This is like, I mean, I'm sure there's not that much stuff in it, so I guess you could say it's a game preview, but in terms of like playability, this game is like a full-on game with everything prepared in it. I mean, there's not that many guns. Didn't you notice there's only like a couple assault rifles and a couple SMGs?
3, Tom noticed there's like 3 assault rifles and like 3 SMGs and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of weapons and stuff like that. And even then, some of that stuff felt weird. And something that Andrew and I were struggling with is that, and a lot of people in the stream, because I streamed it for a day and I was getting people's opinions, is that the time to kill in the game is really weird. And the whole health system and stuff, I'm sure as you play the game more, you understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But as a new player, it obviously takes a long time getting used to any game, but the health system and shield system was confusing me a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely was all over the place with that. I was like healing and I wasn't using my special ability. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I would think my special abilities would be D-pad, but it's not. I don't know. I was just, but that's just button confusion. But I mean, there definitely was like weird things where like we couldn't find any ammo. There wasn't that many guns.
Yeah, it seems
And
like you don't do a lot of damage, but then on the hindsight,
oh yeah,
like you
that
can't
yeah.
find ammo, and then the guns, like you'll take an assault rifle, and then there's 22 bullets in the clip, and you're like, I kept thinking my gun wasn't reloaded, so I'd be like tapping X, holding X, and like nothing was happening, and that's just what the clip size was. So I
Yeah,
was
that's
like
a weird bullet
so
number.
confused, you know?
Yeah. And I also felt like, yeah, when we played, there's just instances where I was like, I could take a lot of shots, and then other times where I was just dropped. And I was like, what? How do they shoot me? Like, is this all headshots? I don't really know what's going on with that, but
Yeah, it was hard to
it
say.
didn't, it was a little bit frustrating. And I was a little like, but the next day, like today, actually, I woke up and I was like, I want to try it again. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and that's pretty rare. I haven't felt that way about like a random game like this in a long time. Where even today, I'm like, man, I kind of wish I played a little bit, just because it's like fun to check it out. It's definitely entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely, and it's different. And I think that's what's going to set it apart. The abilities, like, you know, how they have an Overwatcher and everything is kind of going to make it unique. But
Yeah,
I definitely find it to be pretty cool.
yeah, it's so weird because it's so similar to like Call of Duty Blackout, but for some reason, because it's so original, it kind of stands out a little bit more to me than like Blackout right now, just because of like
I
how
agree.
different it is. You know,
I
but it's still
agree.
the
'Cause
same. It's so similar but different at the same time.
yeah, I agree. And it seems like a lot of people are streaming it, obviously. But like I've watched like a lot, and I think it plays better. Like these guys came out with this game on a Monday, they just threw it out there, and they're like, "Hey, here it is," and
Mm.
it plays well. I know they're not having 100 people in the lobby right now, but like it's. I didn't have any real lag issue, you know, or any issues yesterday. Like
No, I feel like I was just
you
playing a
know,
normal team deathmatch or something.
yeah, it was easy. It was
Mm.
simple. It was fast. You got into games quickly. Nothing really seemed broken. Like, you know, even Blackout has had its issues.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. And that's nice that you don't you as soon as you get into a game, you go into a lobby, you pick your player, your champion with your teammates, and then you
Hmm.
load right in. There's no like lobby system. I never got why they do that. Why like you
Yeah.
stand in the lobby and wait for a minute or two for it get to 99 players, and then you get in the plane. So you go right into the game, and then what's really cool is if you guys haven't played it, is that when you jump, they choose a jump leader, and if you're not the jump leader, you can recommend like, hey, I want to go here or there. But then the jump leader picks, and then you jump together, and you're kind of like stuck flying with that person who's the jump leader. And then you can hold X to break off. But you know, why would you want to do that? You want to obviously land with your teammates. But from like with playing with your friends, it's such a nice system because you don't have to worry about someone going to the wrong spot or like someone on their phone texting or an
Yeah.
issue. Like you just get to the same spot, you're right there, and it's
Someone's
like,
going to the bathroom. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You never know. Like there's always some kind of issue with somebody going somewhere or something
Yeah.
happens.
No, I 100%. And I'd say like that point, I think that it's a smart way of doing it. And the marking system is excellent. Like you said, you could suggest it, but like the double tapping RB to mark an enemy is amazing.
Yeah, it's like no, there's so many stuff to talk about, and like the looting system, the ping system, even how they make everything in the game so simple when you're picking things off the ground, which we'll talk about. But yeah, the ping system
Yeah.
is like PUBG and all these other games could definitely take some tips from how they did that. I mean, yeah, right bumper just pings right in front of you, which is awesome, and it's really accurate because it actually is pinging like an item on the map or like a place on the map. So in PUBG, when you quick mark, it just leaves a dot in your compass, but it always gets messed up or it's pointing in the wrong direction, and
Yeah, it's
it
so
has a lot of
annoying.
issues. But in this game, like if you ping a tree, the actual tree itself will have like a ping on it. So then like if you're looking around, you know exactly what tree you're talking about, which again, you know, in real life, you can't ping a tree. So I get why maybe PUBG doesn't want to do that. But then they had the other thing when you double tap right bumper, it tells you there's an enemy. And then if you hold right bumper, it gives you a whole pinwheel of like things that you could do, like, hey, I need health, I need ammo, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff was kind of cool. I thought they did a good job with that.
Yeah, they definitely did. And it's funny because I heard like other streamers talking about it too. They were just like, "This is so good." And one other thing was like the looting system. Like I think they did a good job. Like how if you have the higher end gear, it doesn't let you pick up the lower end
Dude,
gear.
I know. I felt like such a noob, like saying how much I like that today on stream while I was playing PUBG, because I know that's like for hardcore players, like, well, you should figure out what you're doing. But like, as
When
just
you're
like
rushing.
when you're rushing and playing Battle Royale, dude, you know how annoying it is when PUBG, when like you are trying to pick up a weapon and you switch to a level 1 helmet because you have a level 2 helmet because there's a level 1 helmet on the ground that you don't want. It's so
Yeah.
annoying, but in this game, if you have a level 2 helmet, you can't pick up the level 1 helmet. It'll be like it's not better than what you have, and
Yeah.
it's just so genius because there's a lot of, it's not even like me making a bad decision. It's like the game is messed up and there's too much loot on top of one another and you can't like figure out
Yeah.
what you want. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I agree. I think that it's smart and it's such a simple thing and it has nothing really to do with like whether you should know what you're doing or not. I feel
Yeah.
that it is you're in a rush, you're trying to loot quick, you're trying to grab a gun, like you need to fight for your life, not worry about what helmet you have on your head or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally. I mean,
Um
looting is fun, but it shouldn't be like there's no skill in looting. So why make it where like you can make a silly mistake and switch to the wrong
yeah.
thing?
I agree. I think it's silly. And I mean, I know you didn't really like Titanfall 1. I was a pretty big fan of the first
Ooh,
Titanfall.
I think I like Titanfall. I just didn't love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I played Titanfall 2. No one really got it of our group and I liked it too. And I think like you know, these guys did a great job. In my opinion, I thought that Titanfall had really great game mechanics. Um, I thought the shooting was really good. The guns were great. Even though running on walls was dumb, I think they did a really good job doing it. Um,
It's fair.
and I
Yeah.
think they carried over a lot of those like mechanics, like the gunfighting and everything, uh, to Apex really well. Like I always liked the guns in Titanfall, so I think that the translation they did a really good job, and like these guys really knew what they were doing.
Yeah, for the most part, the yeah, all that stuff plays pretty well. And I guess the only thing I that bothered me about Titanfall was what I liked. I mean, what everybody liked about it too was that there's mechs and stuff like that, but it just became a weird dynamic with the
Yeah,
mechs. Like so it was really fun at first, but for me to continue playing, I just wasn't super like if this game had mechs, honestly, which I mean, I guess they could add that in another playlist or something like that if they wanted to, but I just don't think I would like it as much if it had mechs. I don't know why. Because I like that aspect, but I think having both is just kind of weird.
yeah. I mean, the thing is with Titanfall that what I think made it really good was that they they basically you didn't have to have a mech to dominate, and I think that was what
No,
was good.
no, you
Like you could
definitely
just be a
didn't.
pilot, jump on the back, and if you're good, like do
Yeah.
take down the mech or have the right cannon. I think they did a good job with that stuff. I think they thought well about like if someone has a mech, they're just gonna ruin until someone else gets a mech, or if there's a misbalance of mechs. I really think they did a good idea, like job balancing that stuff. So I think, I mean, I understand why people didn't like that aspect. So I just don't know if there's a reason though to carry it to Apex.
Yeah.
But I think that they think about these things. I'm saying I think a lot right now, but they seem to think about things a little bit differently. And these are the guys that made Call of Duty. So they're not dumb. And I think they've really taken a stab at Battle Royale and they did a good job at it.
Yeah,
Just,
for sure. No, definitely. I mean, they created a really good game, and what's crazy is that I mean, to me, I know there's probably other ones out there. We talked about this before. There's a lot of battle royales out there in the world. People always ask me, "Have you played this battle royale and this battle royale?" But to me, still the three biggest in terms of even like player base or viewer base is still PUBG, Blackout, and Fortnite. And Fortnite being the biggest, but this game enters as like the fourth one, and this is huge because Battlefield was supposed to have their battle royale game and it's not out yet, and I feel like, man,
I
it's
know.
already getting kind of crowded. Like I really have no, like, I'm curious to see if Apex will hang on. I mean, it's got a big following right now, so I think that's great for them to start, and being free is huge. Like being free,
Yeah.
it was huge for them.
Yeah.
And it makes me again feel like PUBG should be free now. Like they should figure out a way to go free if they can.
I think they're going to have to.
Yeah. And then to me, that it kind of switches the conversation, which I don't know if we want to do yet, but then it just, to me, is crazy because I just can't believe Battlefield didn't get the game out. But these are both EA games. So I wonder what EA Games feels like too, because that game is just going to take market share away from Apex if they come out with Battlefield Battle Royale, which they are. But like,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird that they have the same publisher. I mean, I know it's two different studios, but I wonder what's going on in their minds with like the future of Battle Royale and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Battlefield is too late to the party, and they have a lot of issues of just like not delivering. So
Yeah.
it's funny because now Respawn is owned by EA, and they're both EA games. So I think that it'd probably be almost dumb if Battlefield tries it. Like,
But they are. They announced it. It's called like Firestorm.
oh yeah.
It's
I
coming
mean,
out,
I don't know.
so.
I mean, it's not.
It's just to me, it seems like it's like too late. You know?
Yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, I'm sure people are playing. Maybe it'll be really good, but I just don't know how much more, how many more games can really be Battle Royale, because you need a big player base to support Battle Royale. You know, especially with 100 players in a match. It's not like an old game where it's like 4v4. Like if there's not that many people playing, it's going to show. It's going to be a while to get matches and different playlists and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's plenty of battle royales to go around. I see people playing that Realm Royale game, and I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah, people ask me all the time about Realm
strong.
Royale, and I googled it, but I got to Google it again because I've never played it before. And it just looks like, it kind of looks like a Fortnite kind of copy over. It looks just like Fortnite. That's why once a game looks just like another game, I kind of judge it, and I just don't even play it. Like this game looks just like Fortnite.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
looks like
then
such a
again,
ripoff.
if you think about it, I don't know if you could consider Apex looks a lot like Fortnite too, I guess.
No, but dude, if you Google Realm Royale, dude, you
graphically-
can't even tell the difference. If you showed me a picture of Realm Royale and Fortnite next to each other, I can't even tell the difference between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look at it too.
And if you look at Apex Legends, honestly, to me, it still looks like Borderlands. Because the first thing that pops up is these robots, and I'm like, dude, it looks just like Borderlands to me.
Yeah, Realm Royale definitely looks like Fortnite. You're right.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I think that. But if you look at Apex Legends next to Titanfall,
let me look at Titanfall 2, man, because to me it doesn't look anything like Titanfall, but I know some characteristics do. But let me see Titanfall 2, what this looks like. To me, Titanfall 2 looks way more like darker and like Mech Assault, like future, like it looks. Destiny 2 almost, I mean, Titanfall 2 almost looks like a Destiny kind of vibe, when Apex looks more like, to me, it still looks like Borderlands, I guess.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think that Titanfall definitely is a little bit more grayscale than.
Yeah, Titanfall is definitely a little on the gray side.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it still feels. I just think it feels like Titanfall, you know, but.
And someone asked us on the forums, or on Twitter, people were tweeting them, the Apex creators, saying like, why didn't you include wall running? You know, and they said like they just were testing and they didn't really like the way it played. And I think that was a good move too. You can like mantle the walls, like you can still climb up the wall. Didn't you figure that out? Like you can, if you go to a wall,
Yeah.
Tom did, like you can climb up the wall. And I think that's fine, man. I don't think wall running is necessary. And I'm happy that there's no wall running either.
Yeah, I don't think they needed it. I think you move pretty fast in this game, and you do mantle very well, so you don't need to run up a wall to really balance anything out.
Yeah, and the slide feature is huge in Apex Legends. If you have a hill, you can actually slide down the whole hill as long as you are going down the whole time. And the sliding goes pretty quick, so you can actually move around the map pretty fast. But that's another learning curve to me, because I'm out of that style, man, especially not playing Call of Duty as much anymore and playing PUBG. Like that's not in my like I'm not used to playing really fast Twitch shooters anymore. I think PUBG is actually hurting my like Twitch reaction time, you know?
Yeah,
I'm not like used to that.
Yeah, I think that was part of the problem last night. I was just like not moving fast. I was like, whoa. And I was starting to get it towards the end. It was a little bit hard, but
yeah, because PUBG teaches you when you're in a gun battle, if you move in PUBG, your gun accuracy goes down drastically, which is realistic. So like, but in Call of Duty, if you stop moving, you're dead. So, but like PUBG teaches you, like you have to, if anything, like if you crouch, you have better accuracy. So like you get behind cover, you crouch, you fire. So it definitely was hard adjusting back and forth between those kind of games.
Yeah. And I don't think, to me, Apex Legends would replace PUBG.
No,
but I think it'll be a nice change of pace. Like I thought Blackout would be that, and I just don't think it added up to be that. But I think Apex Legends has a lot of potential to be that way for me, just to change it up, and a game that I could probably split more healthily with PUBG.
Yeah,
You know.
me too. I like it a lot. It's definitely different. It's not similar in terms of like realism at all. And I like it as like a new change. And people always come in the stream and ask me like, what games are you playing? And I'm like, man, right now really just PUBG. And sometimes I play Call of Duty, but like just PUBG. So it's nice having
Yeah.
another game to play.
And Titanfall and Respawn was very upfront that they were going to spend like, they were like, we have content for years. This is going to be a game we support for years.
Wow, and that's
So,
smart. I mean, they're doing this right. You need to come out and say like we're doing all this stuff. I mean, that's why I don't have faith in Battlefield. I'm still curious as to what's going on with Blackout. Like what's going on with Blackout after a year. I mean, that they're not certain in that stuff, and that makes me feel less interested in playing those games. And when you hear like there's no plan right now for like Titanfall 3 to come out, that means that Respawn, they've only made Titanfall and Titanfall 2. I mean, maybe they've made other games. I don't think so though. So like to me, in my head, like they're putting all of their focus in on Apex Legends, and I think that's necessary to have like a successful battle royale game at this point. Like you can't be making like all these different games and not supporting it. It needs to be like all in on like the battle royale game for new content and all that stuff.
No, I agree, and I think like some of these studios aren't that big, and they need to just have one focus. And I think that Respawn knew that Titanfall 1 was a success, Titanfall 2 not so much, and they saw that Fortnite was huge, and they were like, "Listen, like we need to focus up on this," and they did it.
Yeah,
Let's buckle up and create something better than this. And I think they went the right way. I think it was a smart choice. Make it free. And EA, I'm surprised EA went with it too. But I think they took a look at Blackout, and they were like, there's so much uncertainty, like you just explained with Black Ops and Blackout, that it's unsettling to the community kind of thing. Like people want a battle royale that's going to last long. They saw the success of Fortnite. They see the success of PUBG.
yeah.
So that's the only way I can think. They had to have thought, like really weighed this in and was like, hey, let's just make it free, make microtransactions. People will be happy, get people on board.
For sure. Yeah, they
make
already
it
announced they're
competitive.
doing like some kind of season pass, battle pass thing as well, like all the other games they're doing now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that will cost money. And actually, there was like a leaked image, or I don't know if this is leaked, but they showed this image. There's not a lot of information on it, but they're showing that there's going to be a battle pass. I just Googled it, which will come with like new legends, new weapons, and new loot into the game. And then it shows that season 1 is going to go all the way up until March. So from now until March is season 1, which will be probably the like inaugural season. And then there's like season 2 until June, and then season 3 is September, and season 4 will end at the end of the year in December. So they already have like there's 4 seasons planned out, quarterly seasons, and that's pretty cool.
No, yeah, I think they thought about all this up front instead of backfilling.
Yeah.
And
Well, and they had time. I mean, Battle Royale's been out
definitely
now.
had a
What,
lot more
Fortnite
time.
has been out for, and PUBG have been out for a long time now. So they definitely had more
Exactly.
time to work on this.
Yeah, and I think that maybe it wasn't last week, but the week before, we kind of talked about how battle royales are extremely young right now,
Mhm.
and that we'll only see them get better. And that's just technology wise, and also I think with just planning wise too.
Totally, you're right, man. I mean, you don't think like there's could be that many changes, but now you can see like there's so many different things you could do with maps. I mean, you could take the PUBG route and have like multiple maps. You could take the Fortnite model and evolve the map. There's like so many things you could do in the future, especially with like squad gameplay and events in there. Or now that people can come back to life in Apex, which is really cool. Did we talk about that? How you can bring the squad mates back?
Yeah, I
You briefly
glazed
touched on
over
it, right?
What's that?
You like lightly touched over or quickly.
Yeah, I
touched
just
over,
was
right?
saying how it's like probably gonna be a big fighting focus point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I want to mention that to me in my initial impressions video, I think that is like the biggest addition to the game in my opinion. And I'm surprised I even like it. But the thing that you can do in the game is if your teammates go down, they can be knocked. Typical Fortnite PUBG, every game has that. You get knocked, and then if you get shot again, you go down, and you're out of the game. But in this game, if you get knocked and then you get killed completely, your crate is still on the ground. And if your teammate is still alive and goes over to your crate, he can grab your banner, which is kind of like your in-game like little soul, and then you can bring you to a respawn station. And again, like Andrew said, the respawn stations are places where like you could easily get shot at and you have to stand there for 10 seconds and wait, and then your teammates will come in on a ship. Like you activate this little whatever it is, like robot device. And to me, what you see really happening in the game is that when you fight another team, like one of your teammates might go down, but then you say you end up killing the team, and instead of us having to continue without Andrew, we can actually bring him back into the game. And I think it's a nice reward for winning the battle, and then you don't have to go on the game without another player. And really, to me, I hate playing without my friends. So, like, once you go down, you're just sitting there, like, you know, texting or you go walk away, and like it takes that one person completely out of the game, and it kind of ruins it for your other friends. And having that thing is just huge to me. It gives you like another chance to like get back in the game. And Battle Royale is so unforgiving, and that makes the game really frustrating, and also makes it hard for like new players and noobs, both new and noobs, to like get good at the game if they're just going to keep dying over and over again. So like the fact that you have another chance to me is like, I don't know, I think that's really smart.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I also think that aspect is part of the whole competitiveness too. That you know, if your team jumps at a point to get more loot, the risk versus reward is high if you can't respawn, right? So when you're able to respawn somebody, I think it will make more people jump for those more loot areas to get stacked up. And I think that they know once they get out of there, and if they lose teammates, they can get them back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's smart too. Yeah, it's a good idea.
I just think, I keep saying I think a lot, but I'm just really kind of assuming that
it's not speculation.
It's all speculation. That it was a really kind of a thought out thing that, you know, not necessarily will make it fun for the average player like myself, but it also adds this element that we're going to make people fight for these high loot areas, and then they're going to have to fight to get their teammates back. And if you want to be competitive, you need to have all three teammates when you go into that final circle, you know.
And the Final Circle
Name drop.
podcast.
The Final Circle podcast is there.
Yeah, and it's cool. The whole thing is cool. Even with what they do with the players is cool, where they show you like there's 5 squads left and 15 players. But then when it goes under 4 squads, they stop telling you how many players are left. But it's really cool how I like they do that. They tell you the amount of squads that are left, and there's just so much. They do a really good job giving you information when you play the game. I thought that was so cool.
The whole system is pretty awesome. It's pretty much like they have a sportscaster doing it.
Yeah,
you know, which is dope.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see. I mean, I think I even heard people are saying there's already like tournaments getting set up for the game, and some people are hating on it online. Everyone's like, dude, who cares? Like, this game is just rolling. Like, they're just coming in hot, dude. They don't care. Like, it's awesome. I think it's a really.
I think that's the way it should be, though. It should come in hot. It should just roll over everybody. Like, what? It's this competition, man.
Yeah. Why have this whole ramp up thing? I mean, that's where PUBG dropped the ball. PUBG could be in such a better spot, but they're just taking forever to make some of these changes. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, I just don't know. I mean, PUBG had its issues, I think, just to get rolling, had a lot more buy-in because it was the first and didn't from a smaller company. They needed to fundraise a little bit more, so people had to pay for the game. It's not like EA, where has, you know, Respawn is a proven company, has Titanfall 1.
Yeah, and they can look at all the old things and the mistakes that PUBG made. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. It's definitely easier for a studio like that, you know.
That's so true, yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't mean that PUBG can't come back and be better. It's just they need to figure out what their niche is or something.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just a quick little rant off topic here. And I can't believe I'm even going to mention it because I just feel like I'm turning into like an angry internet nerd. And I'm not even that angry about it. I'm just more like shocked and confused, like what's going on about this holiday poem event reward, dude. I keep talking about it like every day. But at this point, I just can't believe it. So I'll explain to you guys. I won. There was a holiday Vikendi event poem contest. I keep talking about it over and over again. PUBG put on this contest. You write a poem back in December for the holidays for Vikendi coming to all the platforms. And they selected 10 winners, and I won. And I was supposed to get a reward for it. And they took a month to decide who the winner was. So it started in mid-December, and they announced it on January 24th. And the announcement said all of the PS4 players received the reward, and that the Xbox players were going to get it on Monday, January 25th. So that was however many days ago, like 10 days ago plus, or I guess around 10 days. Yeah. And I haven't heard, like, I don't have the reward or anything like that. It's almost 2 weeks now. And I just think that's like annoying. So then I message them on like Twitter, and I get it. There's 1,000 people. I've tweeted at them like many days in a row because I'm just testing. I keep replying to the same thread. I want to see literally how many tweets it's going to take for someone to respond to me. But then I messaged the person who set up the event, like one of their employees, like the community manager on the forum. And then I put a post on Reddit being like, yo, does anybody have any information? Like, I can't have one person respond. And PUBG hasn't made a post like since then. They made like one post after the holiday event, like in late January. They haven't responded to like anything on the forums. They like, I just don't get how they could do an event like this and not even respond to one person back about like any information regarding it. It's just, they're so, and I guess maybe I'm so much more involved in this because I check the forum and Reddit like every day for new updates and new like patch information, because then I make YouTube videos about it and I talk about it on stream. So for me, it's important because I have to constantly, I'm not one of those people that I don't like sit on forums all day, but because I want the news as soon as possible, PUBG doesn't always like, they don't have a news outlet. You need to find it on Twitter or on the forum. That's the only way you're going to see it. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly like looking for the latest, greatest like information. So I have kind of turned maybe into one of those people, and I'm just shocked that like PUBG goes silent on all these things. It's crazy.
That's frustrating. I feel bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't even really care because it's not even like a big deal. It's not a big prize. It's not like a once and big prize. Yeah, it's more about like the lack of response. And I'm like, I just am shocked that they won't even say, hey, we're having issues. We'll get back to you when we can.
Yeah. They just sweep it under the rug kind of thing. That's annoying.
Or I feel like they're like ignoring me or something. I feel like everyone got the prize but me. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting played or something.
Possibly
they're trying to hold me down.
Just play Apex Legends from now on, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But the thing is, all those types of things do kind of come back. You know, it's just karma, in a way.
Yeah,
it doesn't reflect well the company or whoever is running it or whatever. It will the game. It doesn't reflect well. I mean,
yeah, it's just weird because again, I normally don't like. I'm not even that mad about it. I'm just shocked about the lack of response. It's just weird.
Yeah,
because I see them responding on Twitter to like annoying people all the time. They respond to someone being like who's asking like a silly inquiry or complaining about something like that people have been complaining about for like years, but then I'm asking them like a legitimate question and I can't get a response.
We'll just have to start tweeting at Brendan Green again.
I've never tweeted at him. They have a thing on Twitter, PUBG support, and that's
really
what I've been tweeting.
That's the only one that responds. So it's just a little rude.
But I get it, man. I'm sure they get thousands of tweets a day. So how can you? It's impossible to see them all. I get that, but like,
I agree. But at the same time, it's still stupid.
I just think it's kind of like it's a small snippet of like what's been going on with PUBG. Because if you ask them, they do this all the time. Even with the huge update, they said Vikendi was coming, and then it never came, and then they just don't update anybody. And then they had, even going back, they had all these roadmaps saying like all these updates were going to happen in December, and then this and then that, and then like they kind of just go silent on that stuff.
Their marketing department must suck.
I don't know. I mean, they've been doing a better job on like Twitter and stuff like that, but their communication again is just still so bad.
Yeah, they need to pick that up though. I mean, in reality, all these small things like this, as small as this is just one guy tweeting about this, it hurts the game eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people get mad about it, and I have to say, because I don't want to be that salty, because like most games don't even put on events like this. So like, I'm not trying to be like that guy, because I think it's cool that they even do something like this. Like, why is PUBG holding a poem contest? Like, it's so silly to begin with, and it's funny. And that's why I did it. Yeah. But you're right. Like the things add up, and then people come in the stream and they're like, you know, people say it all the time. There was a couple people today who mentioned that they're like, stop playing PUBG because they're like, I'm not dealing with this anymore until they fix the game. And I have an OG Xbox. I'm not going to play. And, you know, people argue with that. Like, hey, maybe, you know, you shouldn't be playing on an OG Xbox, but I mean, hey, it's available. If it's available, it should work.
Yeah, I agree. It's a game. It's for everybody.
Yeah. So they need to get that together.
I wonder how Apex Legends plays on a OG Xbox. Tom has an OG, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's probably fine. I mean, he didn't have any issues, and
He didn't
Yeah.
say he did.
Yeah, they need to step that up, man.
Yeah.
Come on, PUBG.
For sure. Yeah, get your shit together.
But then you see on PC every day. I mean, I feel like every other day on Twitter they're doing something for PC. They're always like, because I have my Twitter set up to get notifications, and they're always like fixing this, patching this, like, and every tweet is like PC based. So I think that's the issue, is that they're just really all in on like PC, and then they're still trying to figure everything out for Xbox.
Yeah, and I know pushing updates to consoles is slower because it has to get approved by the console maker.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, they're just slow in general. So that excuse only goes so far.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, man? PUBG is open, but they have, just to end the PUBG talk, I guess the night mode and stuff is coming to. I think it's coming to PC right now. I think that's what that recent tweet was about. That it's getting patched tonight.
That's really cool.
And night mode is coming. Whatever the it might have been on the PTS. Was it on? I should know more about the PC. I just don't follow the PC updates like second to second.
PUBG this weekend.
It says, yeah, PC players live server maintenance has started and is expecting to last 4 hours. And I'm pretty sure this means that like night mode is coming in, like the Moonshine it's called. And then I'm guessing that we'll eventually see this on PUBG. Oh yeah, this is canted sites. All that stuff is going to live servers.
Ooh.
So we'll see this on console probably this month, or maybe in March if it gets delayed farther.
Probably like we'll see it in June.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see it on the PTS. We won't see it on the live servers until March for sure. There's no way.
Yeah, we'll see.
The question is, when are we going to see it on the PTS?
Yeah, that's the easier thing to gauge, because the PTS goes poorly, then we won't see it for a good 6 months.
And what's funny is, and a lot of people criticize PUBG for this too, is like they put things on the PTS and they don't even fix it. They just like kind of go live with it. They're like, I'm sure they fix some things, but mostly it's just they just put it into live.
Oh, at least they fixed the readying up bug.
That was huge, man. Honestly, that to me is bigger than any issue in the game.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm happy they fixed it. I don't care if I'm falling through the ground. If you can't even get into a game, then you like, come on, just there's no point then.
They fixed it. I feel like they waited until they got like to 100 million complaints, and then they finally went and were like, click, fixed.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what the F, dude?
I don't get it, man. And that problem has been happening in some capacity since the game started, since I started playing.
There never was not an issue. So, what the hell? Need to get that together, man, but
it's crazy.
Whatever. The night mode and the canted site sounds like it's interesting and be fun. Maybe we'll play some PC.
Yeah. Anyways, I still love you, PUBG. We still love you.
We do still love you.
Still my favorite game. Still my favorite game right now.
Yeah. Hasn't gotten usurped yet, so.
Yeah, man. Isn't it usurped? I don't know what the right word is. I don't know how to say that word.
My is pathetic, so.
Yeah, I'm not good with vocabulary words. Let's see.
Usurp.
Yeah, it is usurped. They might just people on the podcast might have just heard that because I played it through my.
I didn't hear it, but
it's usurped.
Usurp. Would you hit the Google thing?
Yeah. Because I'm recording my desktop, it probably played it, so that's hilarious.
Whatever.
There you go.
Everybody knows for sure now.
Now we know. And moving on from PUBG, figured we could talk about, just quickly, we'll just talk about this like Xbox Nintendo thing real fast, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
So, I made a video about this again on my page, on my YouTube page, just because not really related to all the other videos that I post, but I just wanted to kind of chat about it because I find this stuff kind of fascinating, and it definitely could alter the future of like gaming and online kind of networking for gaming. And because that's something's going on where Xbox is allegedly going to be going to Nintendo Switch, iOS, and to Android, or to at least the developers that want to use it. So the initial announcement hasn't been made. It's going to be made on March 18th, but all the rumors came out, or some leaks and some information. And it seems like in any case, Xbox Live is going to be available on Nintendo Switch, which again, we don't know in what capacity. It could just be like if, say, PUBG comes out on Nintendo, you can actually access your Xbox Live through Nintendo Switch. Would be really cool. And then I could play with you on my Nintendo Switch while I'm traveling. But again, these are theoretical situations because PUBG hasn't been announced.
PUBG to Nintendo Switch.
PUBG hasn't been announced to Nintendo Switch, but it'd be cool if it was. Or it could be taking over Nintendo's online platform because I mentioned in the video I don't know anybody that has Nintendo Online, and they made it where
it's terrible.
Yeah, they made it where you have to pay for it now. It was free for like the first year and a half that Nintendo Switch was out, and now it costs money. So, I mean, it can't have a really strong community. I'm sure there's people that play it actively, but it's, Xbox Live is still, despite the PlayStation Network being, despite PlayStation having the most sales, I think Xbox Live is still the most active online console network, even ahead of PlayStation Network. I'd have to check, but like
that.
I think Xbox Live is still kind of like more, because a lot of people are playing like the single player games on PlayStation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Xbox to me, first thing you think of is Xbox Live. So
yeah,
it'd be really cool to see what they do with this. And I guess there's not that much to talk about it, but it could just become like the new Steam, where everything is done through Xbox Live through the console platform. And to me, it's nice because, like, for example, I have PUBG Mobile. I don't play it, but it would be nice if PUBG Mobile on the iOS just used your Xbox Live friends list, because then you wouldn't have to invite new friends, and you could see, oh, hey, Andrew's on mobile, I'll play with him. And stuff like that could be really, really cool to kind of go cross-platform play.
Yeah, I think this kind of backs my theory that Microsoft is kind of just slowly trying to make everything one. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course, yeah.
PC, the console, I think it was just a power move on their part. They're like, you know what? We can't really outsell PlayStation right now, but what we can do is option B, and I think it's a smart move.
Well, it's genius because Xbox Live is the best system. It's a little, it could be greedy maybe, and maybe it's like an aggressive business tactic, but it seems like a smart move for business wise, and it seems like a smart move for like the customers like us.
Yeah, and I think it's smart for Nintendo too. I mean, I think that Nintendo's the bigger has a bigger risk on this, but I think that it's a better move on their part.
I agree with you, because like
online support.
No one's really playing Nintendo for online, so why not just connect with Xbox and get more people involved that are willing to? I don't know.
And I mean, Xbox, I think, has like Xbox Live has, the same capabilities like being in a party chat, I think, on PC as to Nintendo Switch. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that it's a good service that Nintendo's like, well, you know what? Like, Microsoft is coming and saying, hey, we'll put Xbox Live for your iOS. We could cut some server costs for your online stuff. And you get all these features, and, you get the party chat, all this stuff. And I think that Nintendo is like, you know what, this could be a good deal.
Yeah, if that's and again, guys, I'm speculating here. Yeah, we don't know exactly what the deal is going on. It could be on a game by game basis. It could not even go through. A lot of times, companies, as you know, you work in corporate America, like this could be an idea that people come up with and then never gets implemented correctly. Like you never know what's going to happen. It could just completely die out.
Could just be an app on yeah.
But we'll see.
It could be overplayed and just be an app like it is on your phone, but on the Switch.
Yeah.
But I can definitely look at it tomorrow and do a little bit of research on the old work machine.
Yeah, for sure. And again, the full announcement isn't coming out until March 18th, so we're just going to have to wait until then. I guess there's a game developer conference going on then, and Microsoft is going to make the announcement.
Oh.
Then.
Not E3.
Not E3. So, yeah, that's a good transition. What's going on with E3? So, I'm hoping you guys listening know what E3 is. It's the Electronic Entertainment Expo. And when Andrew and I were young lads, before the internet really blew up, which was the internet wasn't that big when we were younger. It didn't even exist when we were younger. How about that? The E3 was like the biggest thing ever because every game, like now people announce it on YouTube and this and that, like everything happened at E3 and you wouldn't hear anything. And I remember I would get like Game Informer and Nintendo Power magazine and everything would be leading up to Electronic Arts. I mean, E3. And if you could go to E3, it was like the biggest deal ever. And then recently it kind of became like people said it wasn't that exciting anymore, but it's kind of, the hype has kind of come back a little bit for E3. And I'm interested in I've always been interested in going, and basically the moral story is that Andrew wants to go this year. So, all right, Andrew, take over.
I'm trying. Wait, what was that? You broke up for a second.
I was saying, so the moral of the story is that we've always wanted to go, but recently my interest has gone down, and you want to go this year. So I was like, and Andrew, take over.
Yeah. So I watched some videos. After like, I gotta watch a review video.
Well, I definitely want to watch a review video,
and I would like to watch review videos of reviews. Content creators. So I did watch one. It was 20 minutes long,
Okay.
and I was like, oh my god. But basically, like, he said what I thought it was. He was a press person that used to go to just the conferences, which means, like, so if you're not a VIP, you don't get to go. You can get in line and do the press releases, like go to the Xbox show or whatever. They're separate from E3. You're not guaranteed just because you have an E3 ticket, but if you have a VIP ticket, you can get into them. I think there's a guarantee. But what he said is, like, it was just, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to play a lot of games. There's just a lot of, like, camaraderie. It was just to sum it up, he said it was a fun time and he was gonna go again next year. He's like, there's just a lot to do, a lot that people see. Which I think that's really what it's about, is just kind of like going and being a part of something and showing up. I think it's just something I kind of want to do too. I think.
No, I
really
definitely
don't
want to
have
say that I
much
went
reason.
one year, but from like a business perspective, for like YouTube for me, I wonder if it's like worth it. Should I print business cards? I'm just kidding.
So he was saying his issue was he was a news person for Machinima,
Okay.
and they weren't allowing him to let his, I guess he had like an assistant that would carry his crap around, and he couldn't videotape anything. But he said there's a lot of content that, there wasn't many videos about it. And E3, in all honesty, just really kind of started selling tickets. I think only a couple of years ago. It was closed to the public.
Yeah, I feel like you need to be like invited a long time ago, but I don't
I
really
think
know.
I don't think it was open to the public. Don't quote me on that. I gotta double check it, but I think that was an issue. Is that it wasn't open to the public, and I know that.
Oh, no, you're
Sony,
right, dude. Look at this in Wikipedia. In 2017, E3 became open to the public for the first time.
Yeah, so I think that's why hype is getting big again, and I think that maybe less technologists were going because of the whole internet being bigger. A lot of stuff came out online. But, I would always watch E3 on the Xbox Live events and just see all the crap going on behind it, the Xbox booth and all this stuff. And it just looked kind of cool,
Yeah.
So it just would be a good, like, vacation, a place to go, check out the Xbox, check out the expo and then go to the beach or something. But I know
No, that
Sony
sounds
is
fun.
not going this year, too.
Really?
Yeah. It's a big, that was like the only thing that came up on YouTube was that Sony's not going this year. They are going to have their own event, which is actually a trend, pretty big trend, it seems, lately for a lot of companies. They think that they should just go out on their own and make these events. And for Sony, it's not like Sony's Apple, and Apple doesn't go to like CES anymore or something like that. And Sony's just not as big as Apple. And I don't know if Sony had an expo, I 100% wouldn't go, even if I was a huge Sony fan. It's just not, it's not sustainable to me. You know what I mean?
It's not like they have that many things going on, yeah.
No, and I think there's so much going on.
But if you were a
gaming in
hardcore
general.
Sony fan, you might consider it though, dude. You might.
Maybe I would consider it. You're right. I shouldn't say I wouldn't. But at the same time, it's not all about consoles at E3. You know what I mean? It's not all about Sony games at E3. There's all the cross-platform games. There's Activision's not going to back out of going to E3 because Sony's not going. I have a highly doubt that, because if EA's showing up, Activision's showing up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Not all their games are dedicated to only Sony. So, it's not just because it's priority. Black Ops is first to PlayStation. They still have a lot of customers on Xbox, and I don't think they would back out of these kind of conferences. And he said he played a lot of different games and stuff like that, but it's kind of just an event to check out. I think it'd be cool to do once in my life.
No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And it's interesting that 2017 was the first year. So it's been 17, 18, and then this year will be the third year that it's available to the public. And what's interesting here is I'm looking at all the stats. So it started in 1995. And that was when I knew somebody with the first computer. So back then, that was the debut show. Nintendo, Sega, and Sony before, Microsoft even entered the picture with Xbox.
Yeah.
And then, so you keep going. It hit its record attendance in 2005, and that is the current attendance record. And then from there, and then
Xbox 360,
crazy. And then that's like when before the internet really became like the the new internet where it's like everything is on the internet all the time, right? I feel like when we were at that age, it was just becoming like smartphones weren't out yet. And then it went down all the way until about 2014, and then it started picking up again. And then 2017, it was a lot more with the general public. 2018 was a little bit better. And then we'll see, I guess, what this year is like.
Yeah.
But without Sony, that might hurt some people. I mean, some fans or something.
I think it will a bit, but I don't think the conference will die. You know, some guy was on YouTube. He's like, I'm going to have an unpopular opinion, but E3 is dying. And I don't know, man. If your argument is E3 is dying, Sony's not going, but attendance is up year over year, it's just not a good argument.
Yeah, especially if they turn it into more of like a like public event too, then there's no way it's gonna die.
And I think that's really what that's what they went for. I'm assuming they knew that their numbers were down. They knew that people wanted to go, and now they have a whole bunch of people saying, "Hey, I can finally go. I don't really care if it's not what it used to be. If anything, it might be better than it used to be because now these companies are showcasing to people that have stake in it too. You know, they want to get involved. And
yeah, I guess what the issue is that back in the day, you used to go to like break news. Like you would come back from E3 and write an article like, dude, this is like this new game that's coming. We've never heard of it before. But now, like everything we already know when things are coming. So like when you go, it's like you might just have the opportunity to play what's available, you know, or some game might be announced, so you might be able to see it. But then if you're at home, you're going to find out at the same time because it's going to be on Twitter simultaneously. So I think that's what hurts it because you're going to find out right then and there anyways. I mean, everywhere, you know what I mean? Because of the internet and stuff. But
yeah, I agree.
The experience, like you said, is still really cool. And it's not like the normal tickets aren't super, super expensive. So it's,
no, the VIP is a lot. It's like $1,000.
Yeah, I wonder if that's
get a lot. It seems like. What's that?
What comes in the VIP experience?
So
you know, I feel like I should Google it.
E3
VIP E3. I typed in tournament for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it. So
let's see. Register attending. This is live. We're doing it live.
Putting you on the news.
Okay, so we got the different things here. Maybe something to do after because I don't really see it right away.
I know exactly where it is. Registration.
I see all the participating companies. We got Capcom, Bethesda, Astro, Activision, Warner Brothers, Ubisoft, Turtle Beach, THQ, Techland, T2, Square Enix, Sega, so on and so forth. Nintendo.
Why did it come up so easily at work? And
Microsoft, Control Freak, Konami.
Okay, so
maybe I can get sponsored. I'm just
I think you can.
I'm kidding.
Okay, so what the heck? Why did this come
maybe
up
by
so
the
easy?
time oh, here we go, I found it. Attendee registration. Premium badge is 1,000 buckaroos. Holy crap. You get access to our VIP lounge, which provides a quiet atmosphere. This is such a BS thing, to strategize your time, check emails, and access business concierge service. Okay, that's, first of all, just say a lounge. All that other stuff is BS. You get a dedicated service for E3 hotel reservations. Available hotel selections through E3 housing, so you get better hotel prices. Catered breakfast and lunch. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Honestly, I don't mind that because that's like $150 in food right there.
Yeah. Because food's probably expensive around the area.
And 3 days in a row.
That's 6 meals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Daily networking and receptions in the VIP lounge. Hey, I'm just kidding. And access to the exhibit is a daily networking receptions in the VIP lounge.
Oh, I'm down for that. I network, bro. That's how you're gonna get subscribers.
I know. I hate networking though, like business networking. Like, oh yeah, I have a channel, and so someone would be like,
that's gonna be so you, bro. Are you like, hey, my friend has a YouTube page. Can you please check it out?
Oh my god, dude.
Here's my podcast.
I'm
just gonna carry a bunch of mugs in there.
I have a vintage Power Ranger collection podcast.
I have a Nami League of Legends statue. It's worth $100.
Dude, I do. The true story though is I do. Yeah.
I know. I'm just messing.
And I know you're messing with me, but for people listening, I know.
It's hilarious. True. I mean, I think it's at the exclusive industry CEO and VIP reception. I don't know what that means, but if I got to meet some cool dude, I'd be down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Premium seating at E3 Coliseum panels. I don't know what that means, but I think
I think
the
you just get
panels I
better
know.
seating at the panels, which is cool.
That's kind of cool. Access to LA live activations. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that. Live activations.
I wonder if there's just like events that go on around LA for the event, and you get to go to them for free. Sometimes that's the case. They have like maybe open bars or stuff like that.
Yeah, it says live. LA Live is like a website where there's like events going on. Access to, but I don't know what activations mean. But maybe they meant events or something. They misspelt it. I don't know.
What is PUBG?
I don't know.
Excuse me. Will Brendan Green be at the CEO and VIP reception? I have some beef to pick with him.
Oh my god, dude!
All right, is that even the saying? Is like I got a bone to pick with him.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick.
Where's
with
my
him.
Pobe? Where's my Pobe points?
Seriously, honestly, it's in June. I might not have it by then.
They just don't let PUBG in for being terrible.
Wow.
I mean, the discounts at the premium badge holders at the official A3 merchandise store. Definitely want those discounts, bro. I'm spending $1,000 right now.
Wow.
I mean, with the 100, but you can get the gamer badge is $250, and if you do it early bird pricing, which is you have to registration opens February 12th at 12 p.m. The gamer pass is good for 3 days at E3,
and it's $150 early, isn't it?
Yeah, if you get it, if you do it, I think the issue is that you can buy the premium badge right now, and I'm sure that the number of gamer badges is dependent on how many VIP they don't sell.
Because I was gonna say, man, if you can get a $150 pass, I mean that's a $800 savings from the VIP ticket. So you'd have to.
Yeah, but I'm a baller, bro.
I know that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
if it was like
100%.
300 versus 1,000, then you calculated all those other savings, in you'd be like, okay. Yeah, I guess
I agree. I 100% agree. So,
something to think about.
Yeah, no, I that's the thing. I was like, it's kind of sad because I like travel on my stomach or something. I was like, dude, I'm like, free breakfast and lunch? Oh yeah, bro, that's worth $900. Because I don't know if it's buffet, dude. I can easily eat $100 worth in 3 days. Like, it's probably more.
If it's sushi buffet.
Yeah.
I'll be stuffing my pockets with sushi, bro, to get that $900 worth.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Bitcoin goes up a little bit. We'll be good. I'm gonna start fucking balling out again.
I'm gonna bring a cooler, dude, and start stuffing.
Dude, the thing is that the guy said in the video, he's like, "There's really no place to sit."
In the actual
like,
event,
my feet were killing me, and that's why I was like, maybe the VIP lounge is worth the $900 to get sit down. Or we could just bring a wheelchair and just take turns.
Oh my god, dude!
And you do get it earlier too. Like cool. I looked at the times where it says live entrance or early entrance, and like it doesn't open on the second day or the first 2 days. You can't get in until like noon or 2 p.m. if you're just a Game Pass person, and then the premium badge lets you in at 9 a.m.
Oh wow! So you can have breakfast and like talk with people. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I also found. I was like, that could be really good because you get in early, you can have breakfast, go out, walk around, do all the sites in there, or do the things in there, and then have lunch, and then you can go to the beach or whatever. Call it a day when it gets really crowded with full of the lower grade citizens.
Dang, man, maybe we're gonna have to do a fun Blitz 5 trip to the E3. I don't know. I'll definitely look at this stuff. It seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we have until at least February 12th, so that's 7 days. I mean, that's the only thing. See, it's crazy because I signed up for the notification about when they would release information about this stuff, and I don't think I ever got the email for it.
Weird.
It's like Brendan Green's running this website.
Jesus, dude, come on, you guys got to communicate with us.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, $995 is a lot of money.
It is, man. That's a lot, especially because you don't really know what it's going to be like. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. For first time, I mean,
I need to watch this kid's review.
Yeah, I mean, for the first time, it's a lot of money. He didn't get the VIP, but I think he went in 2016 because he was a member of
Uh,
press technically.
a press member.
But
See, I feel like that's what I always was waiting for, man. My dream was that I would just be like invited one year because I was involved
yeah,
with
but
like
I think they
gaming.
treated the press like the premium like the low
Yeah.
the gamer badge,
Oh, I
just
see.
because I don't think they cared about those guys that much. Like the guys who just wrote some articles for Machinima or Kotaku. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I think about it as this: like, if I'm gonna go, do I want to go all out and have a good vacation or whatever, or do I want to, what do I want? What do I want to do here? Like, go and do the gamer badge, spend money on something else. I don't know. It's definitely not an easy decision because $900 is a lot of money.
It is, man. It is. Right now, my bad. I was looking at like what it takes to get an industry badge because it's like you
Oh, it's
just need.
hard.
But yeah, but not, but I have like. I mean, they wouldn't allow me, but if I like, I have almost everything that's on this list because like you could say like I'm involved in the video game industry and I have like a W-2 towards like YouTube and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
there's a thing here. It's called you have to be a part of the IGDA, which is the International Game Developers Association.
Yeah, I had thought about that too. I was like, I wonder if I could just like use my work and be like, oh, I'm part of, the research team and I write articles about you,
Yeah.
you know. But I just don't care.
But do you still have to pay money when you're that person? I
No,
don't
I
know.
think it's free. I don't know actually. I think it's
Maybe.
then it said I needed a credit card, credit card with my employee name and my insurance card. This is like your insurance
Oh
card.
wow. Okay. So
Well, I mean, I have an insurance card, but it says you know, uh what is it? It says something like company credit card listing both employee name and company name.
huh.
Like that's stupid.
This is interesting.
Current
Well,
IGDA.
definitely gonna spend
Whatever.
some little bit more time looking at this and doing some stuff
Yeah.
online.
I
Looking
mean,
it up.
obviously I wouldn't buy the premium badge if you weren't, but
You go to your elite little area.
I'm gonna go take a seat. You could just stand here and just.
Oh, that'd be funny, man.
That's the one thing he said. He's like, dude, my feet were killing me, and I mean that's with all types of things. I remember I went to
Yeah, it's like
the
anything
Javits Center
all day
auto show.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be walking all day, and I mean, you don't need. That's why it's 3 days. You don't need to do it all in one day.
Yeah.
Like that's why I figured. But this is nice to premium badge because you can go in the morning and be done, and go out for the rest of the day or do these activations. I don't know.
Whatever that is. Yeah. So you,
I'm gonna Google. Maybe I could try to ask a question, like tweet at them and be like, "Hey, like, I'm thinking about buying a premium badge. I just want to know, like, what's the LA Live activations?"
is there a typo?
Is there a typo? Is Brendan Green running your website?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh,
Then
man.
you can add player unknown. That's
Ah,
hilarious.
Who runs this website? What the hell is an LA activation?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, definitely something to think about. Probably should make a decision sooner than later.
No, for sure, man. For sure. And well, as this podcast gets posted live tomorrow, or not live, as it gets posted manana, which will be February 7th, I'm going to be streaming, but then I'm not going to be streaming on Friday, and I'm actually going to be away over the weekend. So I'll have some time to like do some research, and then I won't be back on like PUBG and on the stream back until Monday, which I think is February 11th. So we're going to need to know by at least then, because then the next day is the pre-order.
Yeah, because maybe I'll just stay up and try to get the. If we're gonna do gamer badge, I might as well stay up and try to get the.
Yeah, well,
high
I could.
$50.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. And then before we end this episode, I just wanted to bring up one quick thing here that you actually don't know about, that I thought was random. At least I doubt you know about it. Is that Halo is putting on like their own little convention thing. It's called the Halo
No.
Outpost Discovery, which is like their little own mini conference, like E3 kind of thing, their own little convention, I should say, not conference. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is kind of cool. I see if I can send you the link to it, or if you can just Google Halo Outpost Discovery. And it looks like, I don't think there's enough stuff to make this cool. So I'm like unsure, but like let me see if I can read the information on it here. It's like touring. It's only going to be in Orlando, Philly, Chicago, Houston, and Anaheim. And obviously my love of like Halo has gone down now because, I mean, this would have been cool years ago. This would have made them millions of dollars years ago when this game was huge. But it's like they're going to do like gaming demonstrations. They're going to have Halo themed VR, laser tag, like all this different stuff, gear, and like different conference. And they probably will have information. There's that new Halo coming out soon. They'll probably have information about that if I had to guess. But I can't find there was a website for it, but I can't find it now that I'm Googling it. Classic. Yeah, they need to fix their website link. But anyways, I just thought I'd bring that up for anybody that's interested in Halo, listening to the podcast, that this thing is touring. And I can't find the price now, but it was actually, here's the link. Let's see, Halo Outpost Discovery.com. The price kind of seemed expensive for like what it was though. Like it might have been the same cost as E3. Let me see. I'm like, why is it so expensive? Oh no, it's not. Okay, no. So the 3-day VIP ticket is $320. So if you just want a regular 3-day ticket, it's $130, which isn't that bad for anybody possibly interested or big fan of Halo. I'll have to tell Tom about this. He loves Halo stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's really about, but I just wanted to mention it on the podcast because I saw them tweeting about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's worth a mention.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, so I guess that is good for episode 12 for right now. Do you want to have anything else you'd like to add here?
No, that's it. I think we gave a lot of information tonight.
Yeah, we were babbling about today. A lot of stuff to talk about. And it's funny how it works with that. We always say that we came up with a couple topics before we started talking, and we always have more stuff to talk about like usual.
Yeah, we can pretty much rap about anything.
Yeah, so Apex Legends, little PUBG talk. Sorry, I had to like rant a little bit there, just a mini complaint. Then what else? Back to Apex Legends, E3, and I think that sums up the whole podcast for today.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like it.
So we appreciate you guys listening, and as always, we'll just keep moving forward. Next week we'll have episode 13, lucky number 13, and thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming to the final circle. Later.
Thanks for making it to the final circle. Later, guys. Peace.